Ni howdy. I'm Catherine and thanks for coming back to my channel. This video, as you can see from the title, is all about visas. If you have never applied for a visa to a country before, oh my gosh, bless your soul. It is a strenuous, ridiculous process. So for my job, I had to apply for a work visa, which is a little bit different than a tourist visa. A tourist visa is way easier to apply for and honestly get than it is to apply for a work visa, at least in China. So obviously from the title of my channel, Catherine in China, I'm applying for a work visa in China. So basically, I have categorized the visa process into 3 steps, 3 major processes or points at which documents are processed. So the first part of the process is verification. For this step, I think it took me over a month to get everything I needed and get it verified and handed in to the right people, and oh my gosh, it was the most stressful thing. I started my visa in May and I have just now, like literally this past Friday, been granted my visa. It comes in the mail today. So anyway, the first step of the process is verification. For this, you will need your degree, a copy of your degree, a background check, your license, your passport, your teaching credentials, a copy of your teaching credentials that is notarized, and if you don't have teaching credentials, then proof that you've taught a subject for at least 2 years. So for me, I had my degree, the copy of my degree. This is not my real degree. It's in China. They keep it. Anyway, and more about that later. A degree, a copy of a degree. The copy has to be notarized, which is easy. Like, working in an elementary school, we had a notary on staff, a couple actually. That part was no big deal. What I didn't know is that with the notarized copy of your degree, you have to have an affidavit from your notary stating that they have seen your real degree and that the copy is in fact a true copy. Why do you need this? Well, that's the second step of the process. So, once you have your degree, your notarized copy of your degree, your teaching credentials, a notarized copy of your teaching credentials with their own affidavit, don't forget the affidavit. You can take that with your background check, which should already be notarized, but if it's not, get it notarized, and you can submit it to the Secretary of State to be confirmed that your notary is a true and actual notary. This is where I had the struggle. Well, actually, let's rewind. So my school, my employer, told me that I didn't need an official FBI background check. All I needed was a letter from my local police department saying that I didn't have anything on my criminal record, like that I was free and clear. Well, for some reason, my local police department would not grant me this letter. They didn't give it to me. They said, you're gonna have to go and get an official background check. And I was like, oh, okay. So I figured, I'm a teacher, I've had a background check, I've been fingerprinted, I can just pull that. No, you can't. It's gotta be valid within the 3 months that you applied for the visa. So I had to re-fingerprint and get a new background check. It took 2 weeks. 2 weeks more than I wanted it to take, but it took 2 weeks. It came in the mail. I had my official background check. So I sent my degree, my copy of my degree, my teaching credentials. For me, since I have taught in China before, I had to send in a letter from my previous employer saying that I taught English for 2 years, 2 full years, not a day shy. And that is my teaching credentials. If you don't have that, then you're gonna need a certificate of teaching English as a second language training with at least 140 credit hours minimum, okay? You need that. There are plenty of programs out there. You can look it up on Google, you can find one, it's easy. I didn't need that. I do have it. I do have that credential, but I didn't need it because, like I said, I've taught there before and they wrote a letter for me, so that was fine. So I take all of these things, moving through the verification process, and the next step is to take all of those notarized documents and send them to the Secretary of State to get the official seal from the government saying that they are real, true documents. So for me, I would have to send them to Austin, which is about 4 hours drive from where I live, and I could have just driven down there and done it in a day, but I didn't want to. So I mailed them, which is fine. It took 2 weeks to get the documents back, and once I got the documents back, everything had its official seal except my degree, because I didn't know that I needed the affidavit. You need the affidavit. So I went back to my notary, I got her to sign an affidavit, I got her to look at the copies, and I drove 4 hours to Austin, spent 10 minutes in the office, got the stamp I needed, and drove 4 hours back because I just didn't want to wait any longer. So once I had all of my documents notarized, all of my documents certified by the state, I sent them off to the Chinese embassy. So I used a visa service. I'm not gonna say their name because I really am not a huge fan of this visa service. I would not recommend them to anyone. So I'm not gonna say their name. I just had a lot of struggle with them. So I sent, on their website, it says to send all your documents that have been certified to their office, which is in Washington, DC. So I did that. And then I got a call saying that they needed a copy of my passport page, they needed a copy of my license, and they needed me to submit another form with a signature. So I couldn't scan them something, it had to be physically sent. So I had to take another day to fill out the document and mail it to them in DC. When they received the documents, they said, oh, you're from Texas, you could have just sent this to Houston. So we'll send it to Houston for you, which wasted a whole nother day in the certification process of these documents, because you're sending them to the Chinese embassy for the Chinese embassy to verify that the documents are real. But wait, Catherine, didn't we just do that with the notary and the state of Texas? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But China needs to verify them too. So it goes. So it goes. So China verified them. That took another 2 weeks. We're past a month at this point. This is the longest part of the process for me. For me personally, took forever. And I'm pretty patient. Like, I've taught 8 and 9-year-olds for 3 years. I'm pretty patient. Not with this. My patience was so waning. It was so bad. So finally, all the documents came back to me with the Chinese seal of approval. Yay! Second step, sending the documents to my school. So once I got all of these documents verified, I had to send the original copy of my degree, the notarized certified state Chinese embassy certified copy of the degree together with the affidavit. I will never forget an affidavit again. My background check notarized, certified by China and America. Send that, send my teaching credential letter, send a health check. So this is something the Chinese government requires for a work visa. You have to take their health check to your doctor, and they check off all the things. They do a full blood workup on you to make sure you don't have any STDs, STIs, you're not bringing anything, you're in good health. Did that, no problem, pretty easy. Send that with all of your stuff to the school that I'm going to be working for. I sent all of those things to them. It took them about a week and a half, probably 2 weeks. Let's just round it up. 2 weeks. They submitted it to the government as an application for me to work for them. And so it took about 2 weeks for them to get approval, which means that they can send me a letter of invitation. And a letter of invitation is just saying that I'm approved to be hired by the school that I'm working for. And so they send me the letter of invitation. Thank goodness they didn't have to physically send it to me. They just sent me a copy and I printed it. So I took that letter of invitation. My degree, my certifications, all of that stuff is in China. It's staying in China. My school has it. It's theirs until I get there. I'm taking my letter of invitation, my passport. This is just my case because I get my passport back later today. But this is my case, isn't it cute? My passport, a copy of my license, and my visa application form, and I don't know what it's called. It was just like an extra work form where I had to document all the places I've traveled in the last 3 years. If I've been to China before, which I have, so I had to document when I had gone into China, when I had come out of China, submit it with my visa application, obviously the payment. Once again, I did this through my visa company. This time, however, it was fine. I didn't know that I needed that extra work form I was talking about, so thankfully I could just scan it and send it to them. It wasn't a big deal, but they didn't tell me that I needed that. They said it was optional on the website. It's not optional. Why people can't just be straight, I don't know. But anyway, I sent it all to them in Houston this time, and it took about a week. And so now here we are, and my passport should be arriving today. And actually, it was a pretty stressful week, I'm gonna be honest. I was really nervous the whole week that, like, I had no reason to be nervous. There was no reason that they, like, I'm not a criminal. There's nothing in my history that would be like, no, she can't have a visa. But, you know, just my passport's gone. I'm nervous. I don't know. But my cousin and his fiance were actually here when I got the email saying that my visa had been approved. So I'm going to insert that footage right here. Oh my gosh, they sent me. Take it. Guys.
What?
They sent me an email.
Who sent you an email?
My visa people.
Oh, you haven't opened it yet? Oh, yeah, that's what's happening.
This is so stressful. Don't videotape me. Yes!
Did you get it?
I have a visa! Yay! I know. I not my best look, okay? Was planning on going in the pool. Just whatever, it's fine. Pool days, it's summer. But I was very excited. They were very excited for me. It was a great time, and my visa should be arriving today. But I have my visa. And my visa costs quite a bit of money to obtain. I'm gonna be real honest. It cost me about $1,000 to, between all of the shipping things back and forth, and paying the visa company, and paying the embassy, and getting all the stuff notarized, and paying the state to confirm everything, doctor's appointments. Like, I put all of that into the bubble of how much it cost, and it was about $1,000. Thankfully for me, my school is reimbursing part, if not all of that cost. It's part of my contract, so thank goodness for that. But that is something to look out for if you want to get a job in a foreign country. Make sure they pay for visa, travel, things like that. If you guys want to see a video about what to look out for in finding a job in another country, leave a comment down below and I can make a video about that, at least about my preferences anyway. I don't know, you know, everybody's their own person and wants different things. But that is my visa process. It was long. It's been May, June, July. It's the end of July. 3 months. 3 months of paperwork, of documents, of notaries, certifications, talking back and forth with many people. And thankfully, I have my visa, I have a ticket, and I am leaving on August 23rd. And I couldn't be more excited. I'm gonna post another video again next week. I don't know what this one's gonna be about. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. 再见!